Hey everybody, welcome back to Mac Kiteboarding. This is Tucker, and today I'm going to talk with you about some things you want to consider when you're buying your next wing foiling wing. Alright, so Aaron did an awesome job on a blog for this recently. So if you're looking for kind of the basic nuts and bolts stuff, window versus non-window, different types of handles and booms, inflation port stuff, I'm going to go ahead and refer you to the eye icon, which will take you to his blog. I think that's best, described in a written format, give you some cool examples of photos next to one another. So if you're not already familiar with those topics, you can jump in there and learn a lot. And he's even got some links in there for some popular products in our website. So jump into the blog. It's an awesome spot to learn about that, and then maybe come back to this video and we'll compound on that a little bit and talk about maybe why you might want to make those some of those choices beyond what he's already described there. So yeah, if you don't already know, jump into our knowledge center. There's like miles and miles of reading that can be done there. All of our videos are posted there as well, and you can peruse that for hours on end while you navigate through our website and check out the products that might be applicable to the blog. So that's that. Today I'm going to talk with you a little bit more abstractly about how to pick your next wing for wing foiling, and what I would say here is, number one step, do kind of a personal inventory, right? Be honest with yourself. No ego here, you're just talking to yourself, so be honest about it. Where are you at in your learning? Are you just learning? Never done this before, never foiled before? Have you borrowed a friend's gear and been somewhat successful and you already ride a foil on kite or wake or whatever? Have you been doing this for a couple of years and you're at an intermediate level, maybe looking to step into an advanced kind of an ability in the sport? Where are you with that? And a lot of times that's going to help determine when you talk to somebody who really knows what they're talking about, maybe what the next best step is. Along with that, evaluate your riding style and how you like to ride most often. Are you just somebody out there mowing the lawn, enjoying a calm cruise, out there sailing around with your buddies, having a good old time, maybe doing, some little jibes and tacks and things like that? Are you the guy out there charging 30-foot waves? Are you dude over there doing backflips, doing 720s? Are you that person, or do you see yourself wanting to go in that direction? Really, in the sport, there's a lot of different facets that are kind of emerging, and as we start to understand those, there's also certain equipment that's going to work better or benefit you as you progress into those different riding styles. So, some basic ones, and of course there's a lot of crossover here, so you might be 2, 3, maybe even all of these, if you're just somebody that's really versatile in the way they ride. But you've got like free ride, which is, cruising around, do a little bit of everything, but really just having a good old time out there. If there's waves, you're gonna ride waves. Maybe you'll send a little jump here and there. If your buddies are out there, hey, we're gonna race, to the buoy and back. So you're kind of a bit of a do-it-all, but for the most part, cruising, having fun, not really focusing on one very particular type of performance, just kind of doing a bit of everything. So that's probably the most versatile riding style in terms of focus anyway. You've got surf. So it's your main goal to go out there and ride the waves, flagging out the wing, maybe you're powering up the wing, doing some little airs, but really looking to ride on the power of the wave, in the waves. That is definitely the focus of a lot of people in this sport, myself included. I really love riding in the waves when the conditions are right, and I do think that it is a really appealing thing, especially for a lot of people that aren't yet into wing foiling, to go, man, I can go surf foil, but I don't need to sit in the water for a half hour waiting for waves, or fight with the crowd, or deal with kite lines that I constantly have to monitor and get yarded off the wave by and such, So I do think a lot of people are getting into the sport, with that aspiration to get out there and ride in the waves, cruise in some waves, and I do think that's a huge appeal of the sport, especially to people that are already, surf foiling, kite foiling, wake foiling, and understand the fun that can be had in the waves on a foil. So, another one, maybe this is kind of the more extreme, a free ride freestyle, okay? So you want to get out there and do jumps and backflips and spins and go crazy getting in the air. And maybe that's in the waves or in the flat water. You know, you can use the waves as ramps, but you know, if your main goal is to get the foil out of the water doing jumps and airs, it's kind of that freestyle mentality, we call it. That's going to have a particular type of wing. And then maybe lastly, racing. Okay, so that's a developing part of the sport, definitely very niche. A lot of people I think that are racing really aren't buying gear specific to racing at this point. It's more of a fun thing they do, beer lake sort of a deal. But we could have definitely see that developing more into a more serious sport, as kite racing has. You know, we have very specific equipment, very specific focus, you know, to get you the best times, and especially as competitions get more prevalent, I think that'll be more and more a thing, but not really a huge part of the sport so far, at least in terms of gear choices. Don't have a lot of people calling saying, I'm racing in this league and I'm gonna drop $4 on the best gear so I can be a quarter second faster and beat these 3 guys. Like, I've never gotten that call. So maybe they want to be faster than their friends, but it's really not a race. They just want to blast past them so they can go, slow poke as they cruise by. So anyway, I digress, and I bring all these different styles up in this video to help you kind of maybe digest what's best for you, because there is equipment choices that's going to benefit you in those riding styles, in your ability, and really that's where, you know, our guys at MACkite, our experts here, can really help you out. So we're always encouraging people, pick up the phone, pick up your email, grab our online chat, talk to us, okay? We can help you, explain your situation. You know, our guys have ridden all this gear. We've done countless comparisons, had so many conversations about, you know, what gear is for who, and we really do believe every piece of gear in our inventory, every piece of gear in our offering is there for a reason, and we picked it out and offer it for somebody that we can see that benefiting the most. So, you know, we have those in mind. Reach out to us, tell us your story. We'd be happy to make some recommendations, be transparent about, you know, what that's going to mean for you in terms of benefits and drawbacks. You know, with every gear choice, you have, you know, a positive and a negative here. It's kind of a sliding scale, so you're going to sometimes get a little bit of extra performance, but hey, there's a consolation over here in terms of maybe ease of use. It's probably the most popular comparison I could make, or vice versa. So we're happy to give that, you know, transparent, honest experience, you know, based on your personal situation. More generally, you know, guys in freeride, they're looking for, you know, a good range. You know, a lot of times freeride guys are out in lighter winds. They're not maybe out in nuking, crazy conditions. So light wind ability, ease of use is really beneficial. You know, a lot of people in that style haven't really developed a specific focus, you know, in surf or freestyle or racing. And maybe I'm wrong for a lot of people, but I think a lot of times, you know, people in the freeride category are progressing still and still exploring the sport and figuring out maybe what they like best or what best suits their local conditions. So sometimes, you know, that freeride gear can be more user-friendly too, and just easier to ride, period, whether that's because you need the help as a new rider or because you're just out there for a cruise and you don't want it to be hard. You just want to go out and put a smile on your face and not think about it and just enjoy the moment and the scenery and what you have in front of you. I know a lot of times I like to do that, so, you know, I think probably some other people out there as well. Waves, you know, a lot of times what you're looking for here is you're balancing your ability to get up and get going in the waves and not get pummeled in those conditions. So you wanna have some ability to get up and go, but you're also balancing, you know, the performance on the waves, what you can do in a turn, what your speed range will allow you to do. You know, how big waves can you use this equipment on before it kind of gets overgunned or undergunned, and that's something that, you know, requires very specific gear choices. Some things in the surf a lot of people consider the balance of their wing, how it just hangs there and floats in the wind. How light is it, so in those lighter conditions, can you go out there and still flag the wing, or do you have to hold it into the wind so that it doesn't fall in front of you or trip you up or kind of spiral downwind of you? There's certain reasons to choose a lot of gear for that, and for surf, it's really starting to develop, I think, because maybe some of those gear choices are a little bit more apparent. There's maybe more immediate, easy to see benefits to some of these gear choices in surfing specifically, especially because it's one of the most popular aspects of wing foiling at this point. Jumping, obviously, you want power, you want lift, you want speed, because all that stuff means bigger air, right? It means more time in the air, but also you want to have handling, right? Because if you're starting to do 360s, backflips, you can't have this cumbersome, hard to handle, awkward handle placement, weirdo wing, because you want it to be intuitive. You want to be able to whip that wing around and do what you want to do without the wing holding you back. So that can be, a big one as well. And really there's a lot of wings that are kind of being formulated to that aspect of riding and that sort of mode of thinking. So definitely reach out to us if you're in that realm. Additionally, in terms of your foil and board choice, you're talking about balancing something that's light and small and easy to whip around, but also need to be able to get up and go. When you land after a big, 20-foot jump, you can't just sink up to your neck, expect to ride away. It's not going to happen. So you have that balance again, and the more aggressive you get into these, the more specific your gear choices should be to really help you, perform the best you can, to help you learn the most you can and as quickly as possible to really amp up your progression. And gear can do that for you without question if you make the right choices. Lastly, in racing, obviously speed, power, efficiency. Those are all the name of the game. So you want something that's fast, can create the most momentum, most speed, with the least amount of work or power, effort, efficiency essentially. So you're getting as much speed as possible out of the conditions that you're presented with, and things like, the shape of the wing, the weight of your equipment, just the shape of your equipment, can all play into that. And of course, like anything else, tiny little super light wingboard is great until you can't get up or it breaks underneath your feet. So you want to balance all that stuff and get it all figured out. And really, in terms of the other ancillary choices you're talking about, inflation valves, maybe for some people that's a big thing. I have my preferences for sure, but it's not a reason I'm going to choose one winger over another necessarily, especially if one wing is better suited to my ability and performance level than another. Have a lot of questions day to day on, do I want a boom? Do I want loop handles? Do I want boom kind of long handles, we'll call them? I would say a lot of the brands have kind of sorted it out. What's most important is that the wing handles are placed in a way that you can put your hands where they need to be, to have good balance, to ride comfortably, to have something that's not fatiguing, that's not favoring one side of your body over another. Those little small details that come from real hardcore R&D, all the brands that we are involved with are awesome with R&D, so I can stand behind them, but some are certainly better than others, especially with regard to maybe your specific situation. If you're a real heavy load rider, that's going to change. If you're a lightweight rider, that's going to change. If you're a real short rider, that's going to change. Things like your ability level or things you're struggling with, that can be helped by a choice within, those variables. Or if you're riding in cold weather and you have to wear 7 mil gloves, and maybe your handle choice is a little bit more important than others. So we can help you with that. And I say all that to say, I don't have the magic answer in this video, which wing is right for you. And I can't even really tell you the variables that are gonna lead to the perfect purchase for you specifically, you as the person I'm talking to right now. But I can tell you, if you talk to us, if you're transparent, then we can definitely lead you towards the right choice. There's simply too many variables that any person could have, and we could go on this video for 3 hours and still not touch on it all. But reach out, we'd be happy to help you out with that gear purchase, point you towards the right specific gear that's right for you. We know there's a lot of stuff out there in the market right now, It's not all perfect for you. It's not all bad, but there usually is one or two choices that are clear choices for where you're at and what you want to do. This is Tucker at MACkiteboarding.com. Don't be a stranger. Reach out to us on phone, email, chat, put a comment in the comment section below. However you can reach us by mail, I don't care, we'll respond. Get to us. We'd be happy to help you choose your next gear and walk you through some of those benefits and drawbacks that each gear choice will have for you.